Setting up the right visual sales process is key to your success. A good sales pipeline is a proven way to speed up deal closing and to stop deals from falling through the cracks. So let's see how this works in practice. Now your sales pipeline is filled with these tiles here, which are your deals organized by pipeline stage. Deals represent sales conversations with your contacts that are in a specific stage of your sales process. You can have as many deals open for the same contact person or organization as you'd like, and the pipeline view will easily give you a visual overview of the overall performance and status of your sales team. So basically, whenever a sales rep logs in, they can see all the deals that they own and where they're at. As they go about their day, they schedule and perform various sales activities that help them close deals. Any activities that are overdue will be highlighted with a red icon. Activities that are due today will be highlighted with a green icon. Activities that are due later will be highlighted with a gray one. And the user's goal information is displayed over here to help you with goal tracking. So with all these stages here, you might want to customize these, right? To set up your pipeline, just go to Pipeline Settings where you can edit the stages. The order of your pipeline stages can be arranged by dragging the stages along the pipeline. And there could be instances where you prefer to keep some of your deals and customer interactions private or visible to select team members. You can choose to keep your pipeline shared, making it visible to all CRM users in your organization, or you can make a pipeline private, visible only to you or select CRM users. You can also add multiple pipelines which can contain different stages to reflect different processes. You could choose to use default stages, or you could manage these stages yourself. You can add a new stage to an existing pipeline like this. And if you'd like, this here is deal rotting, which notifies you when a deal sits too long in your pipeline without anything happening to it, and it will highlight these deals in your pipeline. This can be set up on a per stage basis. Now let's say you're done setting up your pipeline or pipelines. At this point, your major goal is to get those deals to the last stage of your pipeline and win them. But sometimes you just can't win them all, and some deals are lost. When deals are lost, you can specify why exactly, and this will be available in your reports later, making it easier to grow. You can also pre-program loss reasons for sales reps to select from in advance and allow users to write their own reasons. You can also move deals to other pipelines to pass them along to another process, for example, and you can switch to these different pipelines in this drop-down right here. Once deals are won, you can always use your filters to see your won deals, and you can schedule activities and move them along the pipeline even after they've been won. You just need to have the right filter in place to see them. Speaking of filters, these filters here make it really easy to see specific sales reps deals or everyone's deals, or you can customize a more complex filter to see really specific deals. So if you need to organize and speed up your sales process, a well-structured sales pipeline might be a good way to start. There are people out there in the real world who you need to talk to in order to make your sales grow. So let's see how your contacts are displayed in TeamWave and how to track the actions and processes connected to them. In this video, we take a look at how we define deals, people, organization, and activities, and how these items relate to one another in TeamWave. People and organization have their own individual profile pages which hold long-term information. Organizations are kind of like motherships of data that can contain multiple people. If you had to document a company address, for instance, you'd want to keep this information in your organization profile. That way, you don't have to jot it down over and over again in each of your people's profiles. Instead, this information will be referenced in any person or deal that will be associated with this organization. Now, people are the individuals that you deal with. Any information you document on a person's profile should be specific to that one person. People and organization can also be connected to deals which exist in your pipeline. Now, deals are a visual representation of the conversations you're having between the salesperson and the contact. Deals are then tracked to the customizable stages of your sales pipeline until they are lost or won. Because deals are more of a temporary nature, you can have multiple deals open for the same contacts and not worry about redundant data entry. Because TeamWave always keeps your contacts on a file and will always maintain a record of all history and happenings for those contacts. Last of all, you have activities, which are actual scheduled tasks that you perform from day to day. Activities are very important as these are what prioritize your deals and keep you focused on ones that are scheduled for now and ones that are overdue. It's through the completion of your activities that your deals progress through a pipeline and lead to the closing of a deal which is related to your contacts. Have valuable data stored in a spreadsheet like Excel or another CRM program? Easily import the information into TeamWave without missing a beat. In this video, we'll take a look at how you can get your data into TeamWave from a spreadsheet. To actually start using TeamWave and closing deals, you'll need some data in it, obviously. And no worries, you don't have to add it manually one by one. Put your data in a CSV or an Excel sheet and we've got you covered. Over here in Options, you can navigate to our Import Data feature and upload from a spreadsheet. Via the import, you can add various items to TeamWave such as deals, contact people, and organizations. Products can be imported as well. Before the import, be sure to give the columns in your spreadsheet clear names in the first row so it's easy to match them during the import. After uploading your spreadsheet, you need to match the columns in your file to data fields in TeamWave. But now let's say we have a column in our spreadsheet that doesn't match with any of TeamWave's default fields. Don't worry, you can add custom fields to contacts or deals from right here. And when you return to your import, your custom field will be available to map to your spreadsheet. Importing with TeamWave avoids duplicates during the import. You can check these boxes if the file includes a header and if you're updating a few contacts and don't want to import doubles. So now let's check out the preview. All looking good? Then let's go ahead and hit import to add data to your TeamWave. Before we finish, one thing to keep in mind, deals, people, and organization in the same row in the file will be associated with one another. So if there's no organization in your import, the contact will be associated with an existing organization with the same domain as the person's email address. Also keep in mind that deal names, people names, and organization names are required fields when importing data. If there was a mistake made in the process, TeamWave provides you with an easy way to revert to the previous state. If you need, you can click here to revert. Your data is now ready for you to start closing deals. When you need to take a closer look at your contact or deal, check out Detail View. See information and related items in one overview, along with all past actions and activities associated with the deal or contact. In this video, we look at how to work in Detail Views. Looking for one place where you can find and store all information about your deals, contact persons, or organizations? Well, look no further. Deals and contacts have their own detail views. If you're not sure how deals and contacts are related, just check out our video on how data is organized in TeamWave. Now let's have a look at this deal in the pipeline and navigate to its detail page. Over here on the top, we show you the main details and at what stage of the sales process the deal is in and how long it's been there. You can move the deal to another stage by simply clicking on the different stages here, or you can even switch pipelines. With one click, you can also mark this deal as won or lost. Depending on the permissions your admin has set up, you can see and edit the user who owns this deal. For better sales forecasting, you can set the date that you expect this deal to be closed by. Other basic actions are merge and delete. And visibility settings are available for contact people. Now what's pretty cool about these detail views is that they organize your data into the past and future, completed and pending. This makes it quite clear to know what to focus on next for this deal. The sidebar here shows you more detailed information on the deal itself and the person and organization linked to it. We have persons where you can link additional contact people to the same deal. When you do this, you'll see that if you go to the contact person's detail view, the associated deal they added to is included. And up here, you can add notes, activities, and files to the item. And with sales automation enabled, you can track your emails here as well. Now, in regards to the person or organization detail pages, they do function very similarly to the deal detail pages. But the neat thing to know about your contact detail pages is that you get to view a comprehensive history of all deals and activities related to them. So if you have several deals open, won or lost with an organization, you can monitor them all in the organization's detail page. And that about sums it up. Your detail pages serve as one place to find all the information that you need. Your primary goal in TeamWave is to close the deals in your pipeline. A well-known saying in sales is that you cannot control your results, but you can control your actions. For this, we give you the activities and tasks features in TeamWave to make sure that you plan your actions. And you can also sync them to your external calendar to make sure that nothing is missed or falls through the cracks. In this video, you learn how to use activities and tasks in TeamWave, differentiate between activities and tasks, customize types of activities according to your needs, and sync your calendar with TeamWave. You can add activities such as meetings, phone calls, and emails to deals directly from your pipeline view, and also give them specific due dates and times, as well as add notes to them. Activities can be linked to your deals, contact persons, and organizations within TeamWave. When you're in TeamWave's CRM section, we notify you of the number of activities you still need to do or of those that are overdue. Just click here to check your activities list view. You can edit the data in your list here and filter out your activities based on type and user, and we also have your full week's activity list. Here you can easily see what your coming day or week is looking like. You can add activities from the activity view itself, and once you've completed an activity, just mark it as done over here in the activity list view, or in your pipeline view, or in your contact or deal detail view. One neat feature of TeamWave is whenever you mark an activity as done, TeamWave will immediately prompt you to schedule your next activity right away. While activities work more directly with deals and contacts and are primary actions like calls, meetings, or emails, tasks are to do with work to be done to prepare for an action with a deal or a contact. They are supplementary assignments like writing an SOP or an SOW, or wording a proposal, reading and summarizing a document, or researching potential future requirements. Let's say the activity is meeting to discuss a collaboration. The task could be preparing the presentation or writing the pitch to be made. So a task is linked either with the deal, contact person, or organization and can be assigned to a specific user. You can add a task either from the task list view or from a detail page of a deal, contact person, or organization. And when completed, you can mark them as such from there as well. This really helps you stay on top of your work and ensures that no sale gets neglected and no activity is unprepared for. And of course, you can sync your own personal Google Calendar with TeamWave, where TeamWave activities will sync to your calendar. Now, TeamWave wouldn't be TeamWave if we didn't allow you to customize your activity types. So head on over to your CRM settings here, where you can add new types or disable default ones. Now, what do we do with all this data of completed and pending activities? Well, head on to your reports section to keep an eye on the activities that your team has scheduled, as well as those that they've completed. These reports show you how active your team is being now and can also help your sales future. A good tactic to guarantee your sales results is to always make sure that you complete a certain number of activities in a certain time interval. So now you have all the tools that you need to stay on top of your sales activities. Goals are a great way of keeping track of your sales objectives and making sure that you and your team consistently meet the targets that keep your business running. In this video, we'll explore setting goals and tracking goals. In TeamWave, the goals feature allows you to keep track of objectives in different ways, giving you the best possible insight into your progress. You can set goals in TeamWave by moving to the Goals tab here and by clicking on Add Goal. Goals can be set for any of your users. So we've got goals for the progress of your deals and deals won. You can set a specific count or a specific value to be tracked for a goal. After setting the goal type, select which pipeline or stage TeamWave needs to track a goal in, then set the outcome, like for instance how many deals need to be won or the value of deals to be won. Now select the interval of the goal and which time period you want TeamWave to track it from. Once your goal has been created, you'll be able to keep track of them right here in your Goals tab, and you can just as quickly get to the metrics by clicking on the details associated with that specific goal. And you can track progress of your goals with the little pie charts in Pipeline view. Are you ready for your team to start making some sales records? Use TeamWave's goals to give them a goal to break today. The deal routing feature alerts you to deals that have been idle for a longer period of time and keeps you up to date. This video covers what deal routing is and how to set it up. Once you've set up your pipeline in stages to reflect your sales process, we wanted to make sure that you have the tools you need to keep your sales conversations fresh. To help with that, we do have a couple of features, and in this video we covered the deal routing feature. This basically will highlight deals in your pipeline if they go a specific amount of days without any interaction. To set this up, go to your pipeline settings, simply click on the stage you want to set a routing time for and set a day limit. For this stage, let's say we want our sales reps to cold call our potential customers and we need to contact them within 3 days. Now let's say it's a few days later, we've nicely moved some deals along the pipeline and we've lost a few along the way. And we also have some deals still hanging around who our agents haven't yet reached out to. The deal routing feature will display how many days these deals have gone without any interaction, so it's up to you to decide whether you want to invest more time and try to reach out to these people, or do you consider them as lost. Deals won't start routing if there's been any activity. This also includes if any of your users are updating information or perhaps adding or completing an activity on a deal. Any of these actions will reset routing time. So you may be wondering, why would you need this feature if TeamWave always marks deals with due or overdue activities in the pipeline anyway? Well, that might be enough, but what if your next scheduled activity is far out in the future and it's part of your sales process to audit deals, or maybe you just like to know which deals have been stagnating in your pipeline? Either way, the routing feature keeps your deals in your pipeline fresh and you on your toes. So to recap, you can set a routing time that can be different for each stage of the pipeline, and once no actions have taken place for a set period of time, TeamWave will notify you and you can decide what to do next and what to focus on to make sure that no deals fall through the cracks and your sales process speeds up. Products can be linked to deals, which can in turn be linked to clients or specific contacts. Easily set ownership of each product within your company, create duplicates, edit when necessary. In this video, you'll learn how to create your own product catalog, create deals with products attached, add multiple products to deals, and adjust currencies and taxes. Sharpen your pencils, your TeamWave experience is about to level up. Create a customizable catalog of products or services, whatever it is that you're selling, and then you can add prices to these products and link them to deals. When adding products to a deal, the deal value will be calculated automatically based on the sum of the product prices in that deal. To add a product to your TeamWave account, go to the Products tab and click Add Product. In this dialog, you can fill details of the product name, product code, number of units, price and currency are required fields. Once you save the product here, there are some additional details you can include, such as product type and description. And of course, you can also add custom fields to your product for whatever it is you need to keep tabs of. Multiple currencies is a feature that will help companies who sell their products or services globally decide how to price their product in each market to maximize profit for that market. Under the Prices tab here, click Add Price Enter details like unit price, currency, cost per unit, and direct cost, and click Save. And your price in a new currency is ready to be used. And price variations allow you to combine related products together onto a single listing. It can be used as a way to create general versions of the same product, as you can create product variations with different names, unit prices, currencies, and cost per unit. Under the Variations tab here, click Add Variation and enter details like variation name, unit price, currency, and cost per unit, and click Save. And you can add prices in different currencies to each variation as well. You can manually add your product catalog one by one, or you can import through a spreadsheet. Once your catalog is ready to go, you'll be pleased to see that you can add your products to your deals when you create them. Now let's take a look at Products List View. You can edit product details directly here and filter your products alphabetically at the top of the screen here, or create custom filters. To learn more about filtering, check out our video on custom fields and filters. So let's add a few products to a deal. Some people kind of use this as their initiation step of creating a deal. During a call, they'll know which products to offer and go from there. When bulk adding products to deals, you can enter the title of the deal that you wish to link your products to, and if the deal does not exist, a new deal will be created with the selected products attached. The pricing and currency of the products are by default set to the price that you saved in the original product's profile, but you can customize these to another currency and price if you'd like. You can click Add a new item to attach additional products to the chosen deal. For instance, if other potential products come up during the conversation, you could still add a product but disable it from the deal, or you could just delete it from the deal entirely. It's also worth noting that any custom prices defined in this window will only apply to this deal and will not be saved as a price entry in the product's detail and list view. The original product remains the same. If you select tax inclusive for the product, the tax will already be included in the subtotal according to the percentage you enter in the tax field. Tax exclusive adds tax to the subtotal according to the percentage you entered in the tax field. And if you select no tax will be added. You can also link products to deals here in the deals detail view by clicking on Add Products. Deleting a product can be done by a product owner, super admins, or CRM admins. And last but not least, you can select which group of users have permission to actually use products. And that's that. TeamWave comes with a few default fields which are commonly used in sales processes. Custom fields enable you to add extra fields you may require to your CRM. So if you need a field that doesn't exist by default, you can create it as a custom field. You can also create custom filters to match your requirements or a set of conditions in your CRM. You can mix different sets of fields and define a filter to view exactly what you want to. Let's see this in practice. A big question you might have is how to make sure TeamWave can store all the data that you have the way you want it to. Well, let's take a look at that. Users with a CRM admin permission can create new data fields in your CRM. So let's say I want to track a field of my contact person's birthday, for example, or their time with the company or something like that. You have to know if you want to add this field to your contacts or the deals that are related to them. So let's add some custom fields. This can be done from your CRM settings. Now let's say I'm adding a roles field to my contact people. Now that I've created the custom field, I can populate data in it for any of my contact people. Additionally, if your custom fields actually have data in them, they'll automatically be displayed in the details panel. Now what's good is this created custom field can now be pulled into your contact people list view as well. While we're on the topic of list view, one of the most powerful combinations in TeamWave is the combo between custom fields and filters. Let's say I created a custom field that's tracking the lead source of my contacts, and I want to run a report on how many leads came via the source of an agency. You can see the lead source column here filled with various sources. And now let's apply a filter. I'm looking for deals ready to start in anything under 10 days. And since we're only interested in contacts from a lead source of a trusted agency, let's specify that as well. Keep in mind, you can organize these columns and you can even edit the data from list view one at a time or in bulk. And now, if you really want to take this to the next level, you can export this data to Excel, where you can create graphs around the data for presentations. Basically, any of the columns that you set up in list view are columns that will be exported in this list. It's probably worth mentioning that this function can be disabled for regular users by an admin user if it's needed. In summary, custom fields allow you to customize TeamWave to hold your data in a way that you need it best, and filters give you that next level experience. The dashboard is a great way to view your progress quickly and cleanly. Use it to keep on top of your team's activities. And reports show you how you're doing now and can also help you forecast your sales future. With it, you can see where you can improve so you can keep closing more deals every month. In this video, we'll take a look at how to read your dashboard, read reports and trends, uncover where improvements are needed, see how your pipeline is performing, and review won and lost deals. Buckle up, you really don't want to miss this one. One of the most important parts of sales is keeping track of the progress. While the activity-based sales pipeline of TeamWave helps you stay on track of each deal, you'll also need to keep an eye on the bigger picture and see how the whole team or a specific user is doing. For this, we recommend our dashboard. You can filter data in your dashboard based on different criteria such as time range, pipeline, and users. Using the dashboard allows you to have the most important information right in front of you to help you and your team succeed. TeamWave's reports not only present you with your typical numbers and such, but it also presents it to you in a way that allows you to get some really invaluable insight into why you're seeing these numbers. Heading over to our report section, we've got ourselves several metrics here. Before getting into these reports, keep in mind that you can specify the time period you'd like to look at. Also, if you have multiple pipelines, you can either view them all at once or one at a time. Let's look at our won deals here, narrowed down to last month. This bar here is telling us what the average number of won deals is for each of our TeamWave users. These averages are automatically calculated by TeamWave based on the trends and usage of yourself and your team. The more you use TeamWave, the more accurate these averages and metrics become. So most of our users here have won roughly near an average on a monthly basis. In fact, look at Cake here. This go-getter has won more deals than his fellow TeamWave users. This is of course just by the number of deals that are won. You can also view these by the value of the deals. In fact, look at that. Ulrich has won some of the more valuable deals, even though he's closed a fewer number of them than everybody else. Perhaps Ulrich is doing a much better job of upselling his products to his clients and can pass his wisdom to the rest of the team. Speaking of products, you can see the productivity, if you will, by clicking on the Buy Products metric. Here, you can see which products make it into deals, and you can see the value of the products sold in these deals. We can also narrow this list down by user. Just as I thought, Ulrich managed to pack in multiple products in his 2 won deals. Heading back to deals won by users now, here in the bottom of our report, I also have summaries of my team's won deals. I can, for instance, see who's winning the highest value of deals on average, at least within this time period here. Won deals can also be viewed chronologically. This same chronological view can be expanded on or configured to give you data based on volume or value. So see, Cake here's won 4 deals back in the 4th week of the month, which is 3 deals more than what everyone else managed. Ulrich, on the other hand, has been falling a little behind on average it seems, but at least he's been picking up the pace in the final week. Now the same thing applies to deals that you've lost. You can access the same kind of metrics for both your lost and won deals. So now you can find out who the biggest loser is. Losing is not to be taken so lightly, right? So I also want to see what stage these deals are in when they're marked as lost. Looks like most of our deals get lost in the first stage of the pipeline, which is pretty standard really. But these metrics will help you determine not only where in the sales process you could improve, but also who is improving and not improving. See how I can narrow these lost deals by user? Looks like Ulrich's numbers are okay, Cakes are good, but Komera, what happened here? Looks like he's losing deals all over the place, or at least no one else is losing as many as he is. So maybe it's time to give Komera some TLC to find out what we can do to improve his performance through the sales process. Now here we also have the ability to view our lost deals by their lost reasons. Pretty insightful stuff. Lost reasons are required to be given whenever you mark a deal as lost. These lost reasons can also be configured in your company settings. Admins can provide predetermined lost reasons for teams to select from, or you can allow everyone to write customized reasons. Predetermined lost reasons get their own individual graphs, whereas custom written responses are summarized in the other graph, and these again can be narrowed down by user. Now let's head over to the pipeline performance section and check out our deal conversion metrics. These essentially will summarize your won and lost deals together in one comprehensive report. Now this is only tracking deals that have been marked lost or won. Deals that are currently open are not counted here. Open deals are tracked in deals progress, which shows deals in specific stages of your pipeline. Going back to our example, we're winning more than we're losing, which is pretty awesome. And then these here are our conversion rates of our stages. To best explain the numbers, look at it this way. These are essentially tracking the movements between different stages and the success rates of these movements. Whenever anybody moves a deal out of a stage, it's either to move the deal to the next stage of the pipeline or to mark the deal as lost or won. Usually deals aren't marked as won until they reach the final stage, but deals can be lost at any point in this process. So from our first stage, apparently 79% of all deals managed to make it over to the next stage, meaning 21% of the deals in that stage are marked as lost within this time period that we're viewing. Now just follow the same logic for the rest of your stages. So if we've got a lower conversion rate in your more advanced stages, that's probably when you need to start worrying. Kind of like what we're seeing here in our needs identified and proposal stages. Like before, we can always narrow down the report to specific TeamWave users to see how they perform in specific stages of the sale. So we see here in the leads discovered stage, Cake is really making a killing. All of his deals that move out of the stage have done so without being marked as lost, whereas the rest of the team are falling behind just a little bit. We can also see, if we look at Preetham here, that he's having a little trouble at this stage. Now, all of this is good for fine-tuning your processes, but what about being proactive instead of reactive? Rather than reacting to the statistics, what if we wanted to make sure that our team is planning ahead to properly avoid having to be reactive? You could do this by viewing activity statistics. Here we can view activities that are completed as well as those that have been created. While you can't control sales results, you can at least control your efforts. A good tactic to guarantee your sales results is to always make sure that you complete a certain number of activities in a certain time interval. So use TeamWave reports to keep an eye on activities that your team has scheduled as well as those that they've completed. Your activities have the same kind of metrics that your deals statistics had. And that's a wrap. Our report metrics give you valuable data for sure, but they also help you strategize and fine-tune the areas in your sales process that could be even better. You can see how individuals in your team are performing and what they're working on by using their personal filters in places like pipeline views and reports. In this video, we'll take a look at filtering reports by user, using personal filters, and using custom filters. In TeamWave, you can easily keep track of your team members' efforts by using filters. Whenever you're looking at your deals in pipeline or your contacts, you can easily filter out those that are owned by a specific user by using the personal filter over here. You can also create a custom filter and use a specific user as criteria for your results. To learn more about making custom filters, check out our video on custom fields and filters. Now additionally, by going into the details page of a deal or a contact owned by a specific user, you can see a history of their efforts over time. But if you want a real summary of the actions of the user, check out their profile over here and you can see their recent actions done in TeamWave. But of course, you can also dive into specific reports which can always be narrowed down by a specific user, and this gives you the possibility to compare users to each other. In summary, TeamWave gives you the possibility to narrow down what each of your team members is up to and allows you to track their performance and coach them on how to be better.
When a lead visits your website, you can collect the data needed to follow up with them right into TeamWave. All you need to do is sit back and wait for those leads to stream in. In this video, we'll be looking at how to set up a web form, understand where data entered on a web form ends up, and share a web form with your customer. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what a web form is, it's simply an online form your customers can fill out on your website, and it's a far more easy and intuitive way to collect and manage data from your customers. Whether they'd like to schedule a demo of your product or simply get in touch, the reasons can be many. But now you may be wondering, what is it about TeamWave forms that's so special? Well, the thing about TeamWave web forms is that the instant a customer submits that form, it's going to create a brand new deal right inside of your sales pipeline. And it's also possible to get an email notification as soon as a deal is created via the web form. So it kind of sets you up in a situation where you can instantly get in touch with prospects the moment a deal is created. Aside from that, we also want to give you the ability to customize your web forms. So let's get right into it, shall we? Let's head on over to the Forms tab here. And this here is an old form that I'd already created. And if I wanted to, I could access the URL right over here, or the embedded code that I would need for a developer. I could disable it, delete it, or edit it. But we're going to create a new one instead. Now this little area is just internal. Only you and your TeamWave users are going to see this, so it's kind of like a description. But the ownership is pretty important here. This is going to determine whoever inside of TeamWave actually owns this deal. And over here is where we can specify which pipeline and in which stage we want these deals to go into. I think for now I'm just going to stick with the first stage of the automation pipeline. Now the prefix and the suffix helps you differentiate between the deals that are created with a web form and the deals that are not. It's essentially just going to add words of your choosing before or after the actual title of the deal. All language really does is determine the language that's used on the submit button. So it's not really going to affect any of your questions or fields or anything like that. Now with send deal notifications to email, we can just add ourselves here or type in any email address of your choosing. And this way, every time a customer submits a web form, well, you'll get an email notification about it. Introduction message is definitely going to be seen by the customers when they start submitting your form, and so now is when you start adding new fields to be included in this form. For instance, obviously we'd want to know the person's name, right? But if we want to get in contact with them, whether it's through email or phone numbers or both, but let's say in this case we want to communicate via email. Now you can stick with the default ways that TeamWave will ask these questions here, or you can ask the question pretty much any way you'd like. And we want this to be a required field since we definitely want to get in contact with these people later. But now let's say we want to add another question and I'm interested in the person's job title. It's not exactly necessary, so I won't mark it as required. And any custom fields you create will be available in your web forms, whether it's for your people, deals, or organizations. And last of all, we have the success message, which is what displays whenever the customer clicks on submit. But we're not finished yet, because now we're going to customize the style a little bit. This will give you a preview of what your form looks like right now, and over here is where we can actually start playing around with the colors and different fonts and such. Let's say for instance I want some soft neutral colors, and this is the actual form itself. The intro and success message are also completely customizable. You can select from different fonts, different styles, different colors, and of course the form fields as well as the actual submit button can be customized. Goodness, it's not very pretty, is it? I'll tell you what,
By the powers vested in me through the medium of editing, a presto, beautiful. So I would recommend that you just play around with these different fonts and styles and colors to come up with something that's going to match your brand. So when we're all done customizing and are ready, we're gonna hit save, and now I want to get a little preview of what the final form looks like. So we're going to go back to this button right here, and this is the URL link I'd mentioned earlier. So let's copy this and paste it into our browser and have a little sample. Now that that's done, let's go back to TeamWave and have a look at our deal. And that about sums it up. You now know everything there is to know about web forms. Our Smart Email BCC function allows you to manually forward individual email threads from your email service provider into your TeamWave inbox. Once the email has been forwarded, you can then link the thread to any relevant deals or contacts in your TeamWave account. In this video, we're going to learn how to forward an email to TeamWave and link an email to a deal. How does it work, you ask? Well, let's say you're composing an email to your customer and you want to forward a copy of that email to your TeamWave so you can keep a record of it in your CRM. By including your unique forwarding address provided to every user setting up with TeamWave, you can manually forward specific emails to their respective contact profiles and deals. The unique forwarding address of your account can be found right here. So when forwarding emails to TeamWave, you can just copy this address into the BCC field, or it will be done automatically if you've activated your computer's default email composer by clicking the customer's email address inside of TeamWave. Once you send the email, a copy of that email will land inside of your TeamWave's inbox, and it will also be visible inside the contact person's profile. If the person you emailed is not yet a contact in your TeamWave account, a brand new contact will be created automatically. You can also perform some basic actions like creating deals and moving it along the pipeline, or scheduling an activity or task for that person or deal, and so on. We can perform bulk actions to your emails like marking them as read or unread, archiving them, or of course, deleting them. Your emails can be marked as shared or private. The default visibility of all emails that come into your TeamWave can be set in your visibility settings over here. Only super admins can change this setting. No other user in your company account will be able to see emails that are set to private. Shared emails get its own inbox and will also be visible to other users under their respective contact profile or deal that they are linked to. Each user in TeamWave has their own TeamWave inbox, and not even super admins can access it. You can save your Smart BCC address as a contact with your email service provider and quickly add it to the BCC section of any email you'd like to forward. Just be sure that the email that you're using is the same email that you signed up for TeamWave with. Whenever you receive a sales-related email from your prospects, you typically add a deal manually in your CRM. But adding a deal manually each time can be tedious and time-consuming. Sales automation is designed to solve this problem. In this video, we will look at how you set up a sales automation rule and how TeamWave creates deals and contacts automatically. This solution is very useful if some of your email addresses receive a large volume of new sales inquiries. Enabling sales automation is a two-step process. Step 1 being setting up the rule in sales automation. How does it work, you ask? Navigate to your CRM settings and click on the Sales Automation tab. Then you click on the Add Rule button and enter the name of the rule and email addresses you want linked with this rule. Select the deal owner and specify the pipeline and stage in which new deals should be created. And clicking on Save activates the rule. Email addresses specified in a rule cannot be linked with multiple rules, and email addresses specified in rules should not be associated with users in your TeamWave organization. This could cause a clash between the sales automation workflow and their Smart BCC workflow. You would need to forward emails to your Smart Email BCC only from emails specified in your sales automation rule. Emails forwarded from other email addresses will not be processed for deal and contact creation. For every new email address captured by TeamWave, a new contact person and corresponding deal will be created, and both of them will be linked. And you can skip contact creation by simply adding email addresses to the negative list. Suppose there are multiple email IDs in a forwarded email. Since TeamWave will create contacts with new email addresses found in forwarded emails, there could be duplicate contacts. So if your employees' email IDs are added to the negative list, These will automatically be ignored when creating contact people. Step 2 of a two-step process is pretty straightforward. Here you are setting up automatic email forwarding from your email service provider. For this to work correctly, you would have to ensure that your email service provider is forwarding all incoming emails to TeamWave's Smart Email BCC. When you have many different team members putting in new data into your TeamWave account, you're bound to overlap your information and create duplicates. One of the best ways to keep a clean TeamWave database is by using the merge feature. In this video, we'll cover how you find and merge duplicates in contact people and organizations. As your business picks up pace and your sales team grows, there are more ways for duplicate records to sneak in. This can happen when you do a bulk import, capture leads via forms, or by adding them manually one by one. Well, the good news is we have implemented safeguards to minimize the creation of duplicate records, but a few of them may fall through the cracks despite our best efforts. Keeping your contact database clean of duplicates is one of the most important aspects of dealing with repeat businesses. And one of the best ways of dealing with this is with our merge feature. This built-in feature of TeamWave helps you merge your contacts when you find duplicates. Once it's determined which contacts might be duplicates, you can take appropriate action. It's useful to know that while TeamWave can merge duplicates for people and organization profiles, the merging of deals can only be done with deals associated with the same organization or deals that are not associated with any organization. But at this point, you might be curious to know how exactly TeamWave determines if a contact might be a duplicate or not. Well, contact people are considered duplicates if the email address fields are the same, as it's possible for more than one person to have the same name and even share a work phone. Organizations, on the other hand, are considered duplicates if there's a match between the name of the organization and the website associated with it. Now let's dive into using the feature. The merge feature can be accessed here. Now in this area, you're immediately presented with the duplicates information and you're prompted to enter the information you want to merge this to. Details like their names, deals, creation date, creators, owners, etc. will be displayed as well, because this information could be pretty invaluable when helping decide which item is a duplicate of which. And if so, which item needs to be prioritized when merging items together. The results displayed here depend on the user role of the person who's accessing this area. Admin users will see any and all potential duplicates in the entire account, whereas a regular user will only see duplicates that they have the visibility to see. For this reason, we suggest leaving merging of duplicates to an admin user, as they would have a better chance of understanding any duplicates owned by different users. In that light, you can restrict the ability to merge data to certain permission groups. When you've decided which items listed here are actually duplicate items and need merging, select which item you wish to be the primary. This primary item's information will be prioritized in merging in the event of any conflicting information. For example, if you have two Fisher McCarthys that have two slightly different emails and are being merged together, the email associated with the Fisher McCarthy that's been selected as the primary will be saved once the merge has been completed. Once you've chosen the primary, click the preview button to continue. If you find that the duplicates presented here are actually not duplicates after all, simply click back to editing to return to the merge duplicates page. And that's all there is to it. Looking to set up specific permissions for your users to control which actions they can perform within TeamWave? No problem. This video will help you set up different permissions for groups and know which permissions can be assigned or restricted. Head on over to your account options, and in here under user permissions we have the permissions settings page. These permissions define how users can interact with all TeamWave apps, which are HRM, CRM and projects. But if you're actually interested in restricting CRM visibility, you'll find these under your CRM settings. So getting back to user roles and permissions, here you can see we have two different roles, super admins and regular users. Super admins are almighty rulers who can see and do everything in TeamWave. It can basically see and do anything, including add more super admin users and also make changes to your billing settings. So we advise that you use super admin permission sets with caution and assign people to it who only explicitly need it. For other users, we recommend using one of the customizable permission sets available to you and customized to your needs. By default, there's the super admin and regular user sets, but if you're on your pro plan, you have the option to add a further 3 user groups. And on the business plan, you have the option to add as many as 10 customizable permission sets. All you need to do is assign users to their roles and decide what permissions you want to give to them. Maybe, for instance, you don't want regular CRM users to be able to export data or merge sensitive information, but your CRM managers, of course, need these permissions in order to do their job. Likewise, your project managers will need to add projects, view other users' timesheets, and add milestones, etc. But regular project users won't necessarily need these permissions. And finally, we have HRM permissions, which have functions like inviting members, setting up check-ins and time-off policy, posting to notice boards, using APIs, etc. And you can allocate these user permissions as your teams require them. It's pretty simple, right? Once you have your permission sets in order, you can relax and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with it. Limit the visibility of your items, create a workforce of private pipelines, and get an overview of the most key features when it comes to working together in a team to avoid duplicating work or missing updates. In this video, we cover global deals and contact people visibility settings using private pipelines and privacy settings, filtering data per team member, sharing activities, and receiving notifications for actions done by other users. When managing a team, there will come occasions where you'll want certain users to not see specific information in your account. For this, TeamWave offers privacy and visibility settings. These allow you to limit the accessibility of your deals, pipelines, contact persons, and emails in TeamWave. But what this does not do is control what emails are shared or not shared, as that is entirely up to individual users to decide. So let's see what we can control. Head on over to your visibility in your CRM settings. Default visibility of your contacts can be set to shared or private, and let's set deals to be visible only to deal owners, followers, and CRM admins. This will mean that only the deal owner and users added as followers can see those deals. This will also limit the visibility of all previous and planned activities associated with a privatized contact within deals to users who have access to that private contact. Now, despite the default visibility that we've set up here, an individual item's visibility can still be managed in various ways. Private pipelines allow you to collaborate with a few hand-picked team members. Just make a pipeline private and add your team members as followers to give them access to it. This way you can limit visibility of this pipeline to a close group of users. Contact people can be marked as private or shared in their respective detail views. And individual emails are marked private by default and can be shared with all CRM users if necessary. You can also make your filters and custom filters private for yourself or share it with everyone else if you think it might be useful. So that's privacy and visibility in a nutshell. Now let's take a look at how your team can collaborate on TeamWave. Anyone with access can work in a sales pipeline where deals can be assigned to various different users. And when you switch over here from one user filter to another, you can quickly see who's working on what. Hitting the Everyone filter allows you to see all open deals in the pipeline for all users. You can even take filters a step further by filtering out more than one user's deals. For instance, let's say we want to see those that are in the first stage of the pipeline with no activities planned on them. And don't worry about cluttering up your filter section for the entire company, because remember, you can mark your filters as private. Filters can also be used in the list view, where you can see all open, won, or lost deals from various stages in one spreadsheet-like overview, and filter out more specific data by creating custom filters. You can also customize exactly what fields of data are shown in the list view like this. And if you have the right permissions, you can also export this customized list to a spreadsheet. Your users can also have a look at the communication anyone has had on a specific deal or a contact person by going into the detail views, where if you have the visibility, you can see previous and planned activities as well as notes, tasks, files, and email communication. To further collaborate, TeamWave will notify you over here when there's any activity on the item that you follow. You can also switch on email notifications over here and set up your personal notification preferences. Normally, notifications on items you own and follow will appear here in the notification center, but with email notifications turned on, TeamWave will send you a notification email. And there you have it, TeamWave, one platform to collaborate on. Love TeamWave? Want to spread the word and earn some rewards for yourself? Check out our referral program. This quick video will show you how to invite people to TeamWave. If you've ever wanted to suggest TeamWave to a friend who could use a more organized sales process in their workspace and earn yourself some rewards, the best way to do so is with our TeamWave referral program. The referral feature is for introducing others to TeamWave, but if you want to add your coworkers to your TeamWave company account, you can do so by adding them as an employee. So to refer TeamWave, head over to Referral Program and earn rewards right here. You can recommend TeamWave via email, social media, or by sending friends your referral link directly. And just for being invited to try TeamWave, the people you invite will receive an extra 2 weeks on their trial period, which means they get a total of 30 days to see how TeamWave works. And if one of your referrals actually starts paying and subscribes to TeamWave, you'll receive a $100 credit to your TeamWave account. Now to keep track of the people you've referred, click the Invitation History tab. This will allow you to check the status of your invites and provide information for those people. If you're interested in a career with TeamWave referrals, we suggest learning more about the TeamWave Affiliate Program. Xero is an all-in-one accounting software that's simple and smart. With our integration, you can generate invoices based on the information you have in your account on TeamWave and Xero and track sent invoice statuses. This is a pretty good time saver when invoicing your customers. In this video, we'll cover how you can create invoices and see when invoices are paid or overdue. So let's see how it's set up. Head on over to Integrations by clicking on your profile avatar to get started. Then once you found the Xero integration, just click Connect to Xero, and from there you need to provide your Xero login details. Provide the details, give access to TeamWave, then enable access to Xero for TeamWave users here. Keep in mind that only super admins can do this. This integration links your Xero to TeamWave, and that means you can link an existing Xero contact to one on TeamWave, or you can create your TeamWave contact as contacts in Xero. And then in Xero you can add other details like tax IDs, registered addresses, etc. We usually suggest linking an organization contact and the email of their accounts payable because typically an invoice goes to the accounts department of a company. Keeping in mind that our integration uses Xero's information, we suggest you also configure your products in Xero to make sure the right product code and tax are applied. In your CRM, a deal or contact needs to be open in order to access Xero options. So in this deal here, you will see the option to link or create contacts and create a Xero invoice. When you choose to link an existing contact, you will see Xero suggesting relevant contacts, and once the link is complete, you can create an invoice. If you already have invoices with this linked contact on Xero, they will automatically show up here. You can link and unlink your invoices with this contact to your deals by clicking here. This is a useful feature as an invoice can be linked to multiple deals and even projects. To create an invoice, you start by selecting the currency you want this invoice to be in. Then you add your products and services as items, add your description, finalize quantity and rates here. Since these products are initially configured at Xero, you can select them for any invoice in TeamWave. So once you're done adding your items and setting prices, click on Create to finalize the invoice. You can see the invoice on Xero by clicking View in Xero here, or by finding the invoice in the Details section. This invoice will already be in Xero, where you can submit the invoice as approved, and the status of the invoice will always be present in your deal detail view, even when a payment is made. In Projects Management, with your Xero integration active, you can add the details of your contact here within your project configurations and create a link. When you create a new contact, you provide details such as customer name, phone, and email address. Note that customer name is a required field. Don't forget to link this customer, or you'd only be creating a new customer on Xero. Now you can create the invoice. Select the currency and products and fill in a description, and you can create the invoice. Once again, these products are pre-configured at Xero, but you can adjust the quantity and final rates over here. And from here, you can keep track of all sent invoices and payments received for this project and see all invoices sent to this contact. And once you've set up your billable rates and project management settings and have logged time in your timesheet, you can export the timesheet to Xero, and Xero will compile the invoice. You can also filter your results based on what you'd like to export. And you can track these invoices in your project configurations as well. And that's all there is to it.
Contacts are vital in sales, so sync your external contacts to TeamWave to keep all your important information in one place. In this video, we take a look at how to sync your external contacts to TeamWave. You may or may not know that you can import contacts from spreadsheets into TeamWave. But you may also find useful that you can sync your contacts to TeamWave from Google. Just head over to Integrations and under Google, select Connect. Log into your Google account if prompted. Allow TeamWave access. And make sure that your contacts are synced. And you can click on the button in your contacts page to refresh a sync. Lastly, you can set visibility settings for your contacts added to TeamWave so you can control who can see newly added contacts in your account. And here we have it, all your contacts are synced with TeamWave.
QuickBooks is a small business accounting software businesses use to manage sales and expenses to keep track of daily transactions. You can use it to invoice customers, send estimates, pay bills, tax filing, and more. In this video, we'll take a look at creating invoices and estimates and tracking payments. Let's learn more about TeamWave's QuickBooks integration. First, we head over to our integrations and click on Connect with QuickBooks here. Enter your QuickBooks credentials and log in. Once authorized, that QuickBooks account will be linked with your TeamWave. Select users to grant access to your QuickBooks. Keep in mind that only account owners can do this. This integration links your QuickBooks to TeamWave, and that means you can link an existing QuickBooks contact to one on TeamWave, or you can create your TeamWave contact as contacts in QuickBooks. Then in QuickBooks, you can add other details like tax IDs, registered addresses, and so on. We usually suggest linking the email of an organization's accounts department because usually an invoice goes to the accounts department of a company. Keeping in mind that our integration uses QuickBooks' information, we suggest you also configure your products in QuickBooks to make sure the right product code and tax are applied. In your CRM, a contact or deal needs to be open to access QuickBooks features. So in this deal here, we'll see the option to link or create contacts and create a QuickBooks invoice. When you choose to create a new contact, provide details such as customer name, phone, and email address. Note that customer name is a required field. Don't forget to link the customer, or you'd only be creating a new customer in QuickBooks. Now, you can create an invoice or an estimate. The creation process is the same for both, but with an estimate, you can update its status within QuickBooks and create an invoice with an accepted estimate. To create an invoice, you start by adding your products or services as items and add your description. Finalize quantity, rates, and taxes here. All fields but description are required. Since these products are initially configured at QuickBooks, you can select them for any invoice in TeamWave. So once you're done adding your items and setting prices, click on Create or Create and Send to finalize the invoice. You can see the invoice in QuickBooks by clicking on View in QuickBooks here, or by finding the invoice in the Details section and clicking View. This invoice will already be in QuickBooks, and the status of the invoice will always be present in your detail view even when a payment is made. And from here, you can keep track of all sent invoices and payments received for this deal and see all invoices sent to this contact. In Projects Management, you can create and send an invoice through your configurations here and keep track of those sent invoices for this project. When you choose to link an existing contact, you will see QuickBooks suggesting relevant contacts, and once a link is complete, you can create an invoice or estimate. Select the products, then fill in a description, confirm quantity, rates and taxes here, and you can create the invoice. Once again, these products are pre-configured at QuickBooks, but you can adjust quantity and final rates here, and tax is a required field. Also, if you already have invoices with this linked contact on QuickBooks, they will automatically show up here. You can link and unlink your invoices with this contact to your projects and deals by clicking here. This is a useful feature as an invoice can be linked to multiple deals and projects. And there you have it, ready to send some invoices. Mailchimp is a leading marketing automation platform which helps design and market email campaigns. It has all the marketing tools you need under one roof. This powerful integration seamlessly connects TeamWave with Mailchimp so you can send well-targeted and personalized emails to defined lists of customers. In this video, we look at how to export, import, and sync your contact data with Mailchimp. First, we need to link your Mailchimp account to TeamWave, and to do that, we head over to Integrations here. Click on Connect, provide Mailchimp credentials, authorize TeamWave, and enable access for TeamWave users here. Now that the integration is complete, you and your authorized users can start syncing your contact data. There are three initial options: export, import, and sync. Before we start exporting, there's something you need to know. Filters are very important here. Let's say you don't want to sync all your TeamWave contacts, just the ones you have one deals with. Set your filter to deal status is 1, and you would be able to use this filter as the conditions for your export. Of course, you can set any filter that makes sense to your business. Once you have the right filter in place, you can set up your export. Select or create your audience. This would depend on your Mailchimp setup. Map the fields correctly. As you can see, the email field is mapped by default. Other required fields are first and last names. Then you can add your tags in TeamWave, maybe to note that this is an exported contact. Add tags to Mailchimp so you know which contacts are from TeamWave or which filter sent these contacts to Mailchimp. Then if you want pre-existing contacts to get updated, check this box here. And finally, you can make this a one-time export or a recurring thing with real-time export, meaning whenever contacts fulfill the set criteria, they will be exported to Mailchimp. Importing follows a similar workflow. You select the audience and segment and map the fields. Email is of course mapped by default, and first and last names are required as well. Then you add tags and assign contact privacy. We also have this useful option to update existing contacts. So if a Mailchimp contact is already in your TeamWave, checking this will update its information. And again, you can make this a one-time thing or set this import rule to repeat whenever new Mailchimp contacts fit the audience and segment. Finally, if you choose to have real-time imports, you can choose for Mailchimp to push the import when it's verified by an account admin, or to push the import when a user subscribes to your Mailchimp audience. Syncing contacts with Mailchimp will keep contacts that match with a TeamWave filter synced with a unique tag in your Mailchimp audience. With this, you can seamlessly send well-targeted emails to your customers, like sending email campaigns very specific to users in a certain stage of any pipeline. So once your filter is ready, you can choose Sync Contacts, select or create your audience, create a unique tag for this sync, so you can use this tag to send campaigns to customers in Mailchimp. Map the fields correctly. Email, first and last names are required fields. Add tags to these contacts in TeamWave and Mailchimp here. We do recommend that you update existing contacts, that way you don't leave anyone out of a campaign. Since this follows your sales process flow, sync cannot be set up to be a one-time thing. And finally, you save this sync. And if you want to manage your Mailchimp actions, you can do so in your integrations page. And there you have it, exports, imports and syncing through our Mailchimp integration.